gentlemen, welcome back to the City Boys podcast. I am one of your hosts. It's me, Grayson. I'm down here pitch side. There's only one place in the world I can drop $100 before the game has even started. The vibes are still high. And ladies and gentlemen, that's because I'm at City Park. Check it out. Oh yeah, vibes are so high. I was just talking to my dad. I think I'm going to change my match prediction. Vibes are so high. I don't know if that's allowed. This has never been done before. I'm predicting a dub now, guys. We're going to win 2-0. 2-0. It's going to happen. All right, guys. But yeah, little City Park action. Hope you guys like it. And now, to kick it to my next two hosts, right below me, I've got Ethan Thornton and Jacob Ratcliffe, guys. Come on, City! All right. Thanks, Grayson, for the spectacular intro from City Park. You did a great job. What a guy. But here we are, back at home to give you guys our reactions to another controversial match this week. Guys, welcome to the pod.
Very glad to be here, Grayson. Immaculate introduction, by the way. The vibes at City Park are unmatched, some of the best in the world. You can't change my mind. Thanks for bringing it in.
Yeah, thank you for a lovely intro. There, like you said, not a lot of places you can spend $100 and still feel good. So I'm glad you were able to keep the vibes high and chant your ass off for a full 8 minutes total.
Oh yeah, definitely spent it on. I got 2 patches for the collection and a Palestinian beef wrap that was fire. Oh my god, definitely recommend it. It was so good. Waste your money on it. Definitely worth it. It's not a waste.
City Park has certified grand.
The food's amazing. The game was even better. It was such an exciting match to go see. Definitely would have loved to hold on to that 1-0 dub, but alas, that is not what happened this week. The refs just love to find a way. They love to find a way. But let me go ahead and take us into a match review. Since I was there for the game, I felt it was right that I'll hit you with it this week. So, super early on, St. Louis was looking dangerous. Noki Thorson gets his first start on the left wing for St. Louis, and oh boy, did he disappoint. 8th minute, great aggressive defending from Wenzel. He definitely put in a shift this match. He puts in a tackle high up in the midfield, puts St. Louis right on the attack. Ball falls to Kahima, who finds Leuven, who puts in a sexy ass through ball for Thor, who does a good job to body the defender off, gets one-on-one with the keeper, and finds Gudon's feet instead of the bottom corner. Classic Thor. 9th minute, just 1 minute later, corner from Vasilev gets headed away into the feet of Kahima. He stays composed, finds Klaus sitting at the penalty spot. His touch takes a bounce up. He volleys it towards goal off the crossbar. That goal specifically, the touch that Klaus took reminded me of the goal that he had against Kansas City last season that went into the far corner last time. St. Louis is just not getting those lucky shots this season. Disappointing. 26th minute, there's a chance for Daniel Rios that begs mentioning because you have another nutmeg alert for Ethan. Just shows once again that good attacks start with nutmegs. That's how it goes.
Nasty business there. We saw a few this game.
Yep. So Rios gets the ball after the nutmeg, hits a wicked shot, but Berkey with a nice calm save. Another note, because that save leads into another chance that was easily mopped up by Tim Parker. Past couple matches, we've looked super weak defending aerially, so thought it was super nice to have Tim Parker's presence again in that box, just cleaning stuff up. And now it's time for our reoccurring segment. How can the MLS refs fuck us over this week? The answer, 38th minute. Leuven goes in hard challenge, wins the ball, Ref, once again, 10 feet away, sees no problem with it, waves to play on. Durkin finds Vasilev, who drives down the field, plays across the box to Durkin, who is pushed in the back. In the box, ref doesn't call it. Ball rolls to Thorson. Thorson, being 4, hits it right down the middle of the goal. This time actually snuck in. Whistle blows. Ref's got to find a way to call it off. What's he going to call? Is he going to call Thor offside or Klaus offsides? No, because he wasn't. Is he going to call the foul in the box on Durkin or the PK for St. Louis? No, of course not. That would mean St. Louis gets another goal and we go up 2-0. No, of course not. He calls a foul on Leuven from the very beginning of the play. Like, it was ridiculous. And I'll play the clip here. It's definitely making the rounds all over Twitter right now and just giving the Europeans more fuel to make fun of us. Play here now.
After review, there was no offside offense. However, prior to the goal, there was a foul committed.
However, oh, what a brutal moment. Just poor announcing from the referee. Good to see St. Louis City on the international stage. Hate to see it for this reason, though.
Yeah, my only question is how far back is VAR allowed to go, especially when the decision on the field was made clear and obvious that it wasn't a foul. And the only real thing that they should have been looking at was the play around the goal because it had been probably like a total of 10 seconds post foul before the whistle was even blown. So brutal, tough shit, but we kept going. What do we do?
Indeed, we did keep going. So so 9 minutes of extra time in that first half. We get another chance. Leuven and Thor once again, nice 1-2 in the box, put Leuven in, and he smacks it into the side netting. Little note: Vasilev could have been in for a tap in. Leuven didn't see him; it was just a little bit too late. But another big chance for St. Louis that went awry. But yeah, I've been saying Thor's name a lot. He did look pretty active this match, although he got his chances and once again cannot finish them.
A bit unlucky to have his goal disallowed, though. A bit unlucky.
Oh, yeah. Bit unfair. Me and my dad were joking the entire match that Thorson was going to score a hat trick. Didn't even get one, but man, I was ready for it. Then back to the future. So second half, we're in the 49th minute. St. Louis's attack finds the newcomer, Jayden Reed, who puts in a fine looping cross in for Klaus, who nods it down into the box. Vasilev pounces on it and lasers it into the bottom right corner, breaking the drought. St. Louis scores. God, what a good goal. What'd you guys think?
First of all, the Joao Klaus haters can be quiet for a little while now. He creates this goal with the help of Jayden Reed, who did play in an excellent ball just for him to nod down. This is what we do want to see Klaus doing more often and getting more involved in the box. Haters, be quiet. He's done it. He's provided an assist on the match.
Yeah, I thought this was just a perfect way to cap off how great of a game Indy was already having. He definitely deserved to get on the score sheet with his efforts inside the box. We talked about the not missed opportunity, but how he was making a run into the 6-yard box as Leuven was driving towards that far post or that near post. So we'd already seen him making these attempts to get into scoring positions, and he just saw the ball coming down. He was like, "That's mine. I'm gonna go get it," and he smashed it into the fucking net. It was really, really nice to see.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt good. The stadium erupted. Great vibes. Moving on, 58th minute, Fortune, player from Trinidad and Tobago, always giving us Americans some nightmares on the soccer pitch. Fortune hits a rocket, hits off the post. Definitely gave me a little heart stop. 66th minute, Rios gets free in on goal, but Berkey comes up massive, tips it over with one of his trademark little flick saves. Insane. 68th minute, cross comes in, gets headed away from Wenzel. Little 50-50 in the box. Thorson tries to take the ball out of the air, and the Atlanta player who challenges him looks like he gets shot down for a PK. Of course, the MLS refs were going to find something. Get some way to get Atlanta back into this match. Super soft again, but I mean, it is what it is. Rios steps up, hits the ball. Berkey guesses the right way and makes the save. Much deserved. Berkey finally getting that PK save, but the rebound falls directly to Rios, who's first to react, and he buries it. Just disappointing. I got a feel for Berkey all season. We've been waiting for it. All the St. Louis fans have been complaining about it. He finally gets it, but to no reward. Just, you got to feel for the guy at the point.
Yeah, the whole sequence was hard done for the entire team. The soft penalty call that didn't even like the ref didn't even go look at VAR like he had when he pulled our goal back. That L for us. W Berkey gets a save, but then L Rios is directly right there. Like Berkey couldn't have done anything better in that save. It's not like he could have parried it one way or the other. He just had to get in front of it. And I saw him kind of yelling at the team for not crashing into the box fast enough. But if you go and look at the replay, we've got like 4 guys trying to close in as fast as they can. It's just hard done that the ball lands right in front of Rios. And yeah, we're 1-1 and trying to scrap some points.
Indeed. Nothing too massive to speak about for the rest of that match. Just St. Louis pushing. We definitely took our foot off the pedal in that second half. We looked so much better in that first half if we had just been able to take those chances early on, put the game to bed like we've been asking all season. St. Louis would be a much better position in the table. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for this match day. Any other notes on how the game went for you guys before we take a peek at our lineup and how the team looked?
I was really happy to see Vasilev go for 90 again. His performances all season have been very good, and to see him rewarded with a goal, it was just fantastic. Also a big game for the Berkey haters who are also going back into hiding. There's your PK save, unlucky to get scored on, but like you guys said, it is what it is.
I think most. Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I was just going to say that Berkey did earn the man of the match according to FotMob with the highest score. I think he had an 8.1 on the match day. So yeah, just another great game for Berkey.
I think most importantly, my takeaway from this game as a whole is while we didn't win, we did stop the bleeding and we were able to gain points. We definitely were the better team and probably should have come out on top at the end of it, but cannot be mad at being able to scrap some points in a month in which we have only lost points.
For me, it's still disappointing. Definitely mad about the draw, of course, but it makes it just a little bit more painful that it was a very weak Atlanta side who were, they lost their best player due to yellow card accumulation. We're not a full strength. We aren't full strength at all, but we do have our 2 major stars in Klaus and Leuven. We had a strong defense this week with Tim Parker, our captain, back on the pitch. So definitely a lot more desired from this game. But yeah, I'm happy we didn't lose as I had predicted.
Yeah, going to the standings, a lot doesn't change for us. We're still sitting at 12th. We did go from 18 points to 19 points. Playoff contention, we're only down by 6 points still, so we're still able to see ourselves in that fighting picture just on the cusp. And a couple more bounces go our way, couple good run of form, and we'll be sneaking right back into that playoff contention.
I think that takes us to our lineup this week. Ethan, why don't you go ahead and break it down for us?
I would be delighted to, gentlemen. First up, and of course, we have Roman Berkey in the net. Like you said, Grayson earned a man of the match this week and did save a penalty kick. Defense from right to left, we got Thomas Totland, Michael Wenzel making his MLS debut, his first start in the MLS. We did see him in the Champions Cup earlier this season, but great to see him back in the side and performing well. Tim Parker, the Lieutenant General, is back after serving his yellow card accumulation suspension. And one more debut in the back line, Jaden Reed, number 99, special to see on the field. I thought he performed great, and it's really, really good to see some City 2 on the field. The midfield, we did go out in a 4-4-2 this week from right to left. Indiana Vasilev goes on the right side with Chris Durkin and Edu Lovin in the center of the park. Like you said, Grayson, Novki Thorson gets his start on the left side. Bit shaky out there, but Jose Kachima and Joao Klaus are our strike partnership this week. I like how they pair up better than how Klaus and Sam paired up. We had some important substitutions this week as well. Akil Watts comes on for Thomas Totland. Michael Wenzel goes for Jake Nowinski. Blom came on for Novki Thorson, which I thought was an interesting sub this match. Jose Kajima and Joao Klaus both subbed off for Caden Glover, a City 2 lad, and John Klein, who recently signed to the first team permanently this season. So great to see him get back in. What did you guys think of the lineup and the subs this week?
I'll go ahead and go first real quick. Needed to shout out Jaden Reed. What a performance. I know Jacob's going to get into more of it, so I'll leave it at that. But I did like the lineup this week. In my mind, I didn't really see it as a 4-4-2, but that's because I'm seeing it from the pitch, not from the aerial view that you get on the TV. In my mind, I thought we were back in at 4-2-3-1 kind of formation, just based on how Thorson looked and how high he was playing on that left wing side. But I don't mind that 4-4-2 call as well. That's what FootMob's rocking with, so we'll rock with it too. Yeah, great match again from Leuven. Definitely put in a shift. Something else I noticed on the pitch and shows itself in the stats. I don't want to harp on it week in and week out, but Birkin's distribution has just got to be better. So many times in the match, he wins the ball back and immediately either sends it down the field to nobody or just like little taps, just doesn't know exactly where his teammates are around him, just a little bit of awareness. I think that'll come like just more calmness on the ball. I think he gets nervous, doesn't realize how much time he actually has. Just a little bit more confidence in his distribution, and he should be playing better.
Yeah, I didn't think Durkin played like poorly. I know his
No, not at
distribution's
all.
gotta get up there, but like the other four tools of his game, if he is a 5-tool player, have really been on point. And yeah, just the distribution's got to improve. I agree. Oddly enough, I thought Thorson played better. I don't think he had a great game, but based off of what we've seen from him, I thought, he did put in a shift and was unlucky with the goal being called back. And, the 5-hole was open for his first chance. Guzan's legs were open. Guzan's just a vet. He's 40 years old now. He knows how to make you think to shoot there. So I like Thorson's play. I do agree. Kojima and Klaus up top together do look good. I think Kojima's got the legs to press way more than Klaus does and put that defensive line under pressure like we want to, more than Klaus is able to, sprint for a full 90 minutes and try and bag a goal. But yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and get into my point. My point this week is the City 2 player performances that we got to see. Like Ethan had mentioned, John Klein signed to the first team permanently prior to this game. We saw Wenzel and Reed make their MLS debuts. Then later, Klein and Caden subbed on. From the small sample size that we've seen from John Klein, I really, really like what I've seen out of him. He gives 110% effort on the pitch, and he's challenging for like every header that he's nearby, while also being the smallest player on the pitch. That's effort, that's grit, that's a lunch pail kind of guy. I love to see that out of the kid. Um, his high effort did, in fact, almost get us scored on when both he and Durkin went for that kind of aerial ball together, and it bounced off the two of them. And there was a chance we could have got scored on there, but just clean that up in his game to where I know he wants to impress. I know he wants to make his mark on the field, but I mean, that's Durkin's ball. Let Durkin do his job. Go be available for a quick pass. Let's see. I also thought Wenzel played very well. Fatmob had his rating at a 6.8, which I gave him around like a 7.5. So me and Fatmob aren't too far off. Similar to Klein, and I think this is, a theme for all of the younger cats. They're going to give 110% effort. They're trying to make an impact. They're trying to stay up with the main team. So 110% effort from real young, and he did end up getting cramps later in the match, and I think that has to do with the fact that he was going all out. Um, I also thought that he only really conceded one clear-cut opportunity, and that happened because he does push up on the center forward a lot, kind of how Tim Parker does, but Tim Parker's a vet, so he knows not to get turned. But in that opportunity, young Wenzel gets turned pretty easy, and Atlanta had a chance in on net. He did have a huge sliding block in the second half and won it. He was 4 for 5 on aerial duels and 3 for 5 on ground duels. Yeah, all in all, I thought Wenzel did really well. Then we move to the surprise start and the surprise best performance, in my opinion, Jaden Reed. Like I said, he was a surprise start for me. He looked like a really good balance of defense and attack as far as an outside back goes. I know in Markinich, we definitely prefer to see his attacking side versus his defending side. Um, so to give some balance at that position was really, really nice to see, and I thought he did really well. Obviously, his most important action of the game was the perfect cross to Klaus's head for Indy's goal. He had 7 recoveries. He wasn't dribbled past a single time. He won 2 duels and lost 2 duels. I think for his first MLS and his first team debut, he did really well. Um, I also think that this shows that it's clear that Carnell's unsure who the starting left back should be, and giving Reed a full 90 minutes told me that he impressed in Carnell's eyes throughout the match, and I think we should be looking for him more this season if Akil and Markinich aren't able to cement themselves there soon. And last but not least, we move to Caden Glover's performance. This is his second ever MLS appearance, and it's really tough to analyze how he did. He did a lot more defensive work in this match than he did attacking work. He only had 2 shots with 1 on target, and the 1 on target was soft, not really dangerous for the goalie. He was 2 for 2 on ground duels and 0 for 2 on aerial duels. I'm not expecting to see him win a lot of defensive aerial battles, so the 0 for 2 is what it is. Is he the answer to our striker problem, though? I think it's too soon to say. I'd like to see him continue to develop and start to dominate at City 2 before we promote him too soon to the first team and then he's just behind Klaus, kind of a similar Sam Adeniran situation. I think letting him continue to progress at City 2 is probably the best option for him. Finally, to end out this point, I'm really, really pleased with the young guys. I think the future of our team looks bright, especially if the development staff can continue to grow our young guys and mold their talent to our system in the way Wenzel and Reed, they've been molded to play in this system. I think we could be seeing a very heavy City side with quote homegrown players. A caveat to having a lot of homegrown players is that it opens up roster spots for international players and DPs to add to our team. Ideally, having a perfect mix of dangerous homegrown and elite foreign players is the type of system you want to see run in this league with the weird roster rules. But yeah, that's all I got. What did you think they looked like, Grayson?
Definitely in person, Johnny Klein looked tiny.
Yeah.
So small. I didn't really notice until he came down to defend a corner at the end of the match, and wow, yeah, he's definitely marking the guy who's taking the corner. He's not in the box.
He plays big though. He plays big.
The only thing
Yeah,
I
when
noticed
he
about his play is he did look nervous a little bit his first take on the ball, but after that he looked better. Glover, I thought one moment really stood out for him. He played up the perfectly weighted little dink pass, just past the defender to put Leuven in to take the ball down to the corner for a nice St. Louis chance. So yeah, shows that he has quality, and yeah, just some more time on the ball will get him up to MLS quality speed. And I'm excited because yeah, these players did excite me. Definitely Wenzel and Reed were my two favorites in that match. They definitely look comfortable and ready to be there. Yeah, that one chance that Wenzel gave up, that little where he just dove in too early, that's just inexperience, but he's still young and he already looks this good. That was the one chance that I thought he looked real shoddy, but other than that, fantastic game for both the boys in the back. So definitely hype on these City 2 guys.
Jacob, I just want to say first, what an excellent analysis of these players. I think that was such a great look, and specifically your analysis of Jaden Reed and the competition that's at the left back spot. We've now seen 3 different left backs this season, potentially 4 if you include Deer, although he's not challenging for the squad anytime soon. But I definitely think that Jaden Reed has made a great case to, at the very least, remain on the bubble of the starting 11, and if not competing for first team minutes on a regular basis. I also loved your call out of the having elite homegrown players, elite DP talent, and players that, for example, a Tim Parker MLS veteran, right? This is the makeup of our back line from the last game. Totland isn't quite an elite DP, but Roman Berkey, I would definitely argue, is. Jaden Reed is a definitely exciting young prospect with a lot of competition at that position. So I also want to commend Bradley Carnell for giving the guys their tries in the right moments and letting them perform, letting Jaden Reed go for 90 minutes as he subs out Totland in the 70th. So I thought that was great. And Wenzel only came out because of cramps, if you ask me. The last call out that I want to make before we move on to this point is I'm really interested to see how the rest of Jake Nowinski's season is going to look. We have not necessarily an open position at center back, but I would say there's competition there. He came in toward the end. We're facing his former club at the weekend. So that's another player that I got my eyes on right now. Is Jake Nowinski.
I did find it interesting, and I didn't necessarily disagree with it because, Carnell, whether he knows it or not, he and I butt heads with a lot of his decision making. But subbing Nerwinski on at center back when Josh Yarrow is sitting right there on the bench is an interesting decision. I didn't hate it because Nerwinski uh played decent. He didn't impress me and he didn't fucking give up a goal like Jake Nerwinski fashion does. But I wish I could be a fly on a wall sometimes for trainings to see exactly what goes into Carnell's thought processes on why Yarrow doesn't come in and Jake Nerwinski does.
It was definitely a weird call seeing that in game. My first thought was, yeah, this should be Yarrow coming on, but yeah, credit to Nowinski. He didn't put a foot wrong to necessarily make me mad about the decision. So fair play, fair play. Next point. Do you want me to go or Ethan? What do you think?
You go ahead, Grayson. I want to close this off.
Okay, bet. So yeah, got to check out a St. Louis City home match this weekend. So I did catch a lot of little details that, in my opinion, it was the little details that cost us the match. We mentioned Jaden Reed a lot this game. I thought he was fantastic, put in a lot of super quality blocks and tackles, even earned himself a yellow for a nice, healthy challenge that, hey, it could have been a big chance, so I was glad he put it in. But what I did notice was that he would rarely play a forward pass to Thorson. It's definitely a confidence thing. It is his MLS debut. He's not trying to put a foot wrong, lose the ball, give up possession. He's gonna cut it back and take the easy pass and play it around. But there was a couple times that I saw Thor coming in behind, and I'd wish that he did give Thor a couple of those chances just to get him running at the defender a couple more times so we can move forward a little bit. So yeah, just little things like that. And another thing, I saw so many runs from Thor and Kahima in behind, but almost all of them were wrong. And I don't mean mistimed. I mean they would make the runs for the players who aren't going to make that pass. So I saw Kahima, Thor, and Vasilev all make darting runs in behind when players like Durkin and Tim Parker are on the ball. Neither of these players are going to make that pass. Tim Parker and Durkin, they're going to lay it off to the person closest to them and let them handle the tricky passes. But
I'll make a quick caveat, Grayson. I don't think either one of them will make the pass successfully. I think that we have seen St. Louis City hoof some long balls this season. It just hasn't been an efficient strategy for the squad this year.
Yeah, but then they make those runs, and Tim or Durkin, they don't play it. And then I saw it a couple times where they'll make that run for Parker, and then Parker will lay it off to Leuven. Leuven's looking up, wanting that pass, but everyone had just made that run for Parker, so they're all offsides, and Leuven doesn't get the chance to make that pass, even though he's the one that should be making that pass every time. So just a little bit of chemistry, making sure that we're making the runs for the right players, the people who are going to create these attacking chances. Team's chemistry is just a little off right now. So many possessions were lost for just not being on the same page. People leaving layoffs for players who aren't making runs or refusing to complete their runs and stopping short just as the ball gets played. It's the tiny margins and little details that I think are killing us and not allowing us to kill off these matches. Yeah, and we came up against a super weak Atlanta side. Still failed to win full 3 points. We got to be disciplined because this league hates us and we will not catch a break. We got to start making our own breaks. What do you guys think? You guys notice any little details this week that really peeved you?
Not necessarily just this week, but a narrative for the last couple of weeks is right there what you said at the end. The league isn't doing anything to help us out, and I am a believer in creating your own luck, whether it be in life or even on a football pitch. And we haven't been trying to create our own luck. We've kind of let ourselves get in our head about referee decisions or things of that nature, and it's time to just start buckling down, being disciplined, and creating your own luck.
Wow, you're on it tonight, Jacob. Well said, because we just have not created our own luck. We have just kind of seemed a little bit defeated in this run of form in the last getting blanked in 3 straight matches, and just I don't know. It seems like we let the shoulders go down just a little bit. However, this brings me into my point, gentlemen, because tonight, although the decision went against us in the first half, we came out strong in the second half. And we scored our first goal in 342 minutes of play, gentlemen. An unbelievable feat. Oh my word, that hurts to it. That second number hurt to say, but the first goal part is very nice. And I can't think of a more deserving player than Indiana Vasilev. He has taken, I don't want a back seat gives the wrong connotation, but he stepped back while Leuven has returned and stepped into the playmaker role. Vasilev is now playing a more supporting role, and he's done it so well. You see just how ready to pounce on the attack he is. He's one of the highest pressers, even with Kojima playing striker. I love watching him. He's definitely been one of my favorite players this season, and to see the ball hit the back of the net and actually count, because that Thorson chance was wrongly called back. It meant a lot. I'm sure it meant a lot for the squad. and I don't imagine stopping now.
It meant a lot for this podcast. I know. So first, the Thor goal goes in. Before I hear the whistle call, just an instinctual "fuck yeah" came just bellowing out from my gut. And then the whistle gets called, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not even surprised anymore. I knew some bullshit was going to happen. And then we have this super long build up until we finally get that goal from Indiana Vasilev. I was already standing up in my house. I think it's disrespectful for the fans at City Park for me to sit down at home. So I watched the game standing up. Vasilev gets that goal. I am fist pumping as if we just won a championship, and it's only because we haven't scored at 300 minutes. But I agree, Ethan. I don't think we're slowing down.
Yeah, I really hope this trend and this like feeling that we have about the club definitely starts to carry on, and we start to see the gears turning, some good positive play for St. Louis. I want to see a win. I want to see 3 points. We have 5 more matches until our new signings can play for us. A lot can happen in 5 matches. The clock is ticking. It's time for the players that we have to step up and show why they should be playing when we have their replacements on the way. St. Louis City players, it's time to prove yourselves because we're willing to spend some money. So,
Yeah,
prove
there
why you
are
should be in the
some
starting 11.
there are some dogs on the way. So got to let the big dog eat. And if you want to be a big dog, you need to put on some pounds and start scoring some goals. Let's go.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to harp on it too much, but damn, was it good to see some City 2 players in the side and being really impactful. I feel like that was something that was kind of lacking from the side in our inaugural season, despite it being our first year. It's just so nice to see us promoting players internally and them taking their chances. So I really hope to see a City 2 player score in an upcoming game.
Before we hit clash for this week, I do gotta say another shout out to City 2 for popping out and hitting Kansas City with a little 2-0 dub at City Park. That looked good. I know Johnny Klein did get a goal off of a penalty rebound. We'll take it.
Also, with that, a record crowd for an MLS Next Pro match. And I also think it was City's 29th consecutive sellout crowd. Correct me if I'm wrong. We'll throw the graphic up on the screen, but I think it's around that 29 mark. So big ups to City 2 and also big ups to City fans.
Yeah, that's insane. 10,000 fans at an American third division soccer game. If you would have told me that 5 years ago, I'd have laughed in your face. I would have cracked up and probably rolled on the floor. But St. Louis has made it a reality. Our club, guys, that's something to take a lot of pride in. And I would love to go to a City 2 game if I ever got the chance. That sounds awesome.
Yep, definitely planning on
Apparently,
it.
tickets are much cheaper.
I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
And
Well,
yet we still sold them out.
they should sell the whole stadium. I want a packed stadium for City 3. MLS Next City. I think that will take us into Kit Clash, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, this week it's a disappointment for me. Atlanta comes out with their away kit. That looks exactly like the away kit that we just reviewed from Colorado.
Yeah, it's tough.
Almost identical.
It's a little tough.
At the very
So-
least, it's got two of the same colors, that nice bright yellow and the base blue, which I'll give them credit for. Other than that, though, what is it? I'm not.
Hey, it worked for you with Colorado last week. What's going on?
Yeah, this for me doesn't do it. But you know why? Because the graphic on the Colorado kits were dope and they represented something really cool in the city. The Atlanta United jersey is called the Resurgence kit, which is supposed to represent the resilience of Atlanta, which I'll go for. I'm not taking shots at the resilience of Atlanta and their people, okay? What I don't understand is the graphic that they use to represent this rising kind of resurgence. It could be smoke, but to me, it looks like leaves. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, it
This
looks
doesn't
like
do it for me.
leaves.
I thought it
Uh,
was supposed to be a wave,
you
which
know,
threw me
they
off, and then I forgot that like Atlanta's not like on the ocean. Like,
my creative mind, they missed. Talk about resurgence, rising from the ashes. My brain goes phoenix, like the
that'd be hard.
mythological creature of a phoenix, and they're already like a red base color with black. Like
They
th- th-
fucked up.
they could have done some shit with a like all black kit and a red phoenix, fucking rising out of some ashes. But
Yeah. So overall, and okay, one good part of this kit, I do like the emblem on the back of the jersey. I can't really tell what it is, but it looks like a bird or cool winged creature of sorts. So there you go. There's
Is
your
it a
good
phoenix?
part. Potentially. For me, gonna be a 5.5 this week. This kit is extremely average, and I hope that it gives the people of Atlanta lots of joy.
yeah, it's a low score for me too, and that's not because this kit looks terrible in my opinion. It just does suck that last week we recapped a very, very similar kit. So recency doesn't really go in favor for Atlanta. I think if we saw them maybe a month from now before this match, we probably would have been okay as far as rating. So I'm just gonna give it an even 6.9.
I think it actually did work a lot better for Colorado. Colorado's execution was a lot nicer. Um, this week I'll give it a 6. I'm just not a fan. I think I did give Colorado a higher rating, but they did it better. They just did better. That's Kit Clash for this week. Atlanta, fair play. Moving on, guys. We do have a match to prepare for. We are coming up against Vancouver Whitecaps. We're heading up north. It's gonna get cold up there. What do you guys think is gonna happen to St. Louis this week? Away days.
Take it away, Ethan.
Well, like I said in my point, I think that we are just getting started. We're just getting on a roll. So many times on this podcast and so many times in the post-match and pre-match press conferences, players and us have said that all we need is a good run of form to change the whole complexion of this season. I think it begins here. We just got to draw against an overperforming Atlanta United team. And here we go to an underperforming Vancouver team. They have not kept a clean sheet in 10 matches. This sounds like a familiar team to me. And we just got a goal in our first of 4 matches. So I like us going up here and dominating. We've had a chip on our shoulder for some time now. And I think it is time to display the hunger we have to win. I'm going 2-0 City with a Jose Kojima goal this match. I think he will be rewarded for his efforts with probably a scrappy tap in.
Yeah, for viewers at home for this game on Saturday watching the television, do not be surprised if MLS season pass TV decides to choose Ryan Gauld as Vancouver's player to watch because he is having a pretty great season, all things considered. He leads their team in goals with 9, assists with 4, and shots 37. So he's definitely getting up to pitch. He's getting in the box and he's ripping that thing if he's not landed off for an assist. So watch out for him. Other than that, Damir Kreilach is their forward. I'm not sure if he's having injury issues or just difficult to get into the team for him. He's only played in 11 matches so far and has 2 goals. And for a prolific striker like he has been for his career, I do think he needs to be watched as far as this match goes, but looks like he's underperforming all things considered. I agree with you, Ethan. I think we're catching a dub. I predicted this last match that it was going to be the floodgates opening, and I was almost correct. If you look at all of our chances, if they go in, I would have predicted it perfectly. But Fuck it. We're gonna stick with the same sentiment from last week. We're going Edu Leuven from a set piece and a City W. We're gonna change it up a little bit. I'll go 3-0. Clean sheet on the road, 3 goals, decisive victory, back in the win column.
I love it.
Well, I think that would be fantastic. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not as pessimistic as last week. I think we are going to win, but it's going to be 1-0. It's going to be a close one, and we're gonna do it. I think this week our goal scorer is going to be. I think it's going to be one of these City 2 players, honestly.
Please.
Who's it going to be? The first City 2 player to get a goal for the first team is going to be Wenzel. He had a great match this week for St. Louis City. I think he's going to get another start in the center back position with Tim Parker, and he's going to go up for a header, and it's going to go in. 1-0 St. Louis City. Let's go. Let's go. 3 points.
Yeah, you know that big German's gonna be cheering like a motherfucker when he scores.
Well in too. He deserves it. He deserves it. And we've said it so many times. We are missing a center back header from a corner kick or set piece this season. We need a goal from that area. I love it, Grayson.
I really would love it too. I think any final notes before we wrap up this episode this week?
Yeah, this is with our run of form, this is the like best I have felt recently as far as the vibes that I'm getting from this team. Watched a lot of soccer recently with Euros going on and Copa going on, so I've seen a lot of really good soccer, and with that, I was not disappointed in the performance that City gave, even though I've been watching these, top talents across the world play really, really fantastic and entertaining matches. City was able to keep up with that entertain me factor that comes with being an American sports fan. So, yeah, good game from them. Can't wait to see more, and we will see you guys next week.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You want to hit him with the classic outro?
Ethan, you got it.
Ooh.
All right, everybody. Jacob's throwing it up to me. He's Dwayne Wade. I'm LeBron. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your mother you love her. Follow us on Spotify. Rate us 5 stars. And follow us on Instagram at St. Louis City Boys. It has been a pleasure discussing another St. Louis City match with you, everybody. Hope to see you next week. Come on, City.
STO. STO.